Ready. I can't take you to 2016 if you're still thinking about 2015. So I'm trying to get you ready, Joshua generation. I'm trying to prep you. I know it was bad in 2015. I know you went through some heartache. And I know you lost the house. And I know they came and got the car. And I know your child got in trouble. And I know you experienced loss. But God said, I got something for you. Here it is. Pastor Noah, Joshua's talking to him now. He has him sitting there. He's talking to him. And Joshua says to him in verse 5, he tells him, he says, sanctify yourself.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord God. Hallelujah, Jesus. I thank you.
Sanctify yourself. Consecrate yourself.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
He said, because God is getting ready to do something.
Thank you, Lord.
God help me in this house. He said, sanctify yourself. Sanctify means dedicate yourself to the Lord. Because God is getting ready to do something. That means you got to put away some stuff. Put away that low thinking. Put away feeling sorry and sad for yourself. Put away that evil talking, that evil thinking. Put away them friends that don't mean you any good. Sanctify yourself. Because God is getting ready to do something. You're on the verge now. You're on the cusp of stepping into what God has for you. It's there for the taking. But before you get it, you got to sanctify yourself. You got to stop the way you're talking. You got to stop the way you're acting. You got to put away pride and envy. Put away jealousy. You don't have time for that. Sanctify yourself. And so now I can see the people trying to sanctify themselves. They say, I'm getting my mind right because I'm heading into my promise. The way I used to think about myself, I can't think that way no more. I got to start talking back to that devil in my mind and telling me that I'm going to die and telling me I'm not going to make it, telling me I'm below and not above. I got to get my mind right. Once I get my mind right, I got to survey my life. I got to get my life right. If you don't mean me no good, you got to go. I got to cut you. I got to cut you out of my life. I got to detox myself. I got to get my mind right. I got to get my life right. I got to get it together. I got to get it together because I'm going somewhere. Here it is, Pastor Noah. I got to get my house right. I can't allow anything to go on in my house. I got to close the door to some stuff. I got to address some stuff. I can't let the devil just run rampant in my house. I got to get it right. Somebody shout, sanctify yourself. Here it is. Here it is. He says, sanctify yourself. You got to say a benediction to certain folk. Don't wait until January 1st. You got to do it now. Some stuff you got to leave alone. You got to let it go. You ain't got time to be angry with nobody. You don't have time for gossip. You don't have time for pettiness. Who am I talking to in here? You don't have time. You don't have time. Time is winding down. You're standing at the edge of your promise. You're standing at the edge of your breakthrough, and it's depending on you. You can't step in the water until you get that right. You got to get your mind right and get your heart right. You can't be angry and jealous and talking about people, cussing people out, living in the kind of way. You got to get your life right. Here it is. Here it is. So it's time now. It's time. God says, I got something for you that even your parents didn't experience. I got something for you that they didn't even experience, and they died in the wilderness. It's something that I was saving for you. And if you don't get your mind right, 2016 will just be another year. Because you were turning into 2002, 2004, when somebody broke your heart, 2005, when somebody lied on you, 2006, when you went through the divorce, in 2009, you've yet to let it go. But this day you have to sanctify yourself. sanctify yourself? You can find a different church. You can find a different mate. You can move to a different city. You can buy a different house. But it's not until you sanctify yourself, because the problem is not in the place. The problem is in the person. It is not until you fix the person. Ain't nothing gonna work until you fix the person. So he says, here it is. He says, Luke, this is the word I want you to tell my people. Tell them the wait is over. It's about to happen. And you need to let them know the power and the control that they have. He says, let them know that tomorrow don't have to look like today. I'm waiting on them to step in the water.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Red Sea. When God heard his children cry, and he sent Moses to deliver them from bondage. And he said, I got something that I'm promising you. But when they got to the Red Sea, some of them still had that Egyptian mentality. So much so that before Moses departed the waters, they asked Moses, why did you bring us out here?
My God.
Well, there are not enough graves in Egypt. They're on the cusp of going in, but they're still thinking like they're in bondage. And so even though Moses led them out of Egypt, across the Red Sea, they still had an Egyptian mentality in the wilderness. That's why God left them there. And there's some folk, today in 2015, you're in the wilderness of life. And you don't understand why every time you get $1, you got to spend $2. You don't understand why every time I get in a relationship, the same thing happens. You don't understand why every time I get over this, something else comes up. You don't understand why every time I get ready to jump in the pool, somebody else jumps in before me. God told me to tell you, sanctify yourself. And so they were in the wilderness. And some died in the wilderness because they refused to change.
Yes, sir.
They died in the wilderness because they refused to let go of Egypt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They died in the wilderness because they refused to accept the fact that God was transitioning them.
Yes, sir.
And they were in a new place, but they had an old mindset. And God said, I can't let that go to the promised land. And so they died in the wilderness. So now Joshua was telling them, God's going to do a new thing. Because back then, if it was based on your faith, some of y'all wouldn't even made it through the Red Sea. But the reason you made it through the Red Sea had nothing to do with you. It was Moses' obedience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's because of my relationship with Moses. I told Moses to stretch his rod. I was proving you something to you through the life of Moses. Some of you didn't even believe. Some of you didn't even understand where I was taking you. But because of Moses, I brought you through the Red Sea. But you've come as far as you've come on grandmama's prayers. You've come as far as you've come on mama and big mama's prayers. Now you, Joshua generation, Jordan generation, have to step in the water. And so he says, get yourself together. Get prepared. We're about to go into our destiny. That thing that's been in your mind, God is about to manifest it in your life. Get ready. That thing that you've been believing God for, that thing that won't let you get into sleep because you know God called you to it. God is about to manifest it in your life. But it's not going to happen until you sanctify yourself. Get rid of some stuff.
Yes, sir.
Change some things. Renew some things. Do some things differently. Because in this season, if you have faith enough to receive, it's getting ready to happen. I said it's getting ready to happen. I know that this word is not for everybody. Because some people still saying, well, preacher, I'll wait till I see it. And I'll believe it when I see it. But I come this morning to tell you, you're not going to see it until you believe it. you believe it is when you gonna see it. I believe that in this house, here at New Vision Christian Church, that we are the congregation of the mighty. I believe that this is a congregation of Joshua believers. I believe that this is a congregation of water walkers. I believe that this is a congregation that are made up in their mind. I'm going to go further than anybody in my family has ever gone. I believe this is a congregation that are made up in his mind that I'm going to go if I have to go by myself. I'm going to sing if I have to sing by myself. I believe that this is a congregation of believers that say, though he slay me, yet shall I trust him. And I'm excited. I'm excited about your future. I said, I'm excited about what God is getting ready to do in your life. I see your future, and it looks bright. I need some people to join in with me. And let's spiritually, not physically, roll our pants legs up. Because we're getting ready to walk across this joint. And all that stuff that happened to me last year, all the lies that were told on me last year. Somebody asked you, what you doing? I'm getting ready to cross this joint. God has something in store for me. And as soon as I make this first step, God is going to step into my life. Is there anybody here that's ready to make that first step? If you're ready to make that first step, give God a shout like, God, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I can't die. I got work to do. I said I can't die. I got work to do. I can't quit. God is dependent on me. My promise is prepared for me. It is time for me to step into my promise. Somebody give God a hand clap of praise in this house.